Hello, this is your friendly neighborhood pastor, PK Pastor Kevin, coming at you on Friday, December 9th, 2022. Good to have you here. I want to share Hebrews 12, verse 1 in the Passion Translation. As for us, we have all these great witnesses who encircle us like clouds. So we must let go of every wound that has pierced us and the sin we so easily fall into. Then we will be able to run life's marathon with passion and determination, for the path has been already marked out for us. Now, when the writer of Hebrews wrote that, he was referring to Moses, Noah, and Samson as the great witnesses who encircle us. Noah, Moses, David, and all the Bible heroes. I like how the Passion Translation renders this verse. So we must let go of every wound that has pierced us and the sin that so easily entangles us, the sin that we so easily fall into. Another way of wording that is get rid of every arrow tip in us. It's like back in those days, somebody could be shot with an arrow and like a soldier or warrior can break it off, right? But the arrow tip is still in him or her. And the warrior or soldier can stop the bleeding and walk a long way. But the pain is still there from that arrow tip, which is very, very small, but still hurts when you walk. And many of us are the walking wounded. Many of us have an arrow tip inside of us. Some wound, some aggravation that weighs us down, that keeps us from enjoying life. It could be you're angry at your mom, your dad. You're still thinking about ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend. It could be your boss. When we are emotionally wounded by someone, it's like getting hit with an arrow, and the tip, so to speak, is still there. Do you feel let down by somebody? Do you still think about a past argument? Do you still think about somebody who wronged you this year? Do you still think about your ex? Do you still replay arguments you had with your mom or your dad or a former boss? If you feel backstabbed or disappointed by someone, this verse and this video is saying it's time to let it go. You may never get an apology from that person. You may never get any reconciliation with that person. Or you might, but whether you do or not, it's time to let go of the wound. It's time to be healed. It's time to get that arrow tip out of you. How do you do it? Obviously, pray for healing. And then stop dwelling on it. Stop mentally rehearsing past arguments with your ex or your mom or your uncle. And as hard as it is, pray for the one who hurt you and give them to God. God will take care of them. If they're wicked, God will have something for them. God will have them pay back, and I should say, be repaid for what they did to you. Everyone reaps what they sow. When this verse refers to the sin that so cleverly entangles us, the Aramaic can be translated, the sin that is ready and waiting for us. Do you have a sin, a sinful habit that cleverly entangles you? It's time to repent and let it go by making a plan to avoid this sin and temptation. If this verse is speaking of one sin, the context would point to the sin of unbelief and doubting God's promises. But if there is anything that is a sinful habit in your life, it's time to repent and avoid temptation. But if somebody has wounded you and you're still hurt, that so-called arrow tip is still in you, it's time to heal and move forward. Jesus said, love your enemies and pray for those who despitefully use you. You might think, I'm not praying for him. It's not for that person's benefit. It's for yours. When you learn to forgive, when you pray for somebody else who's hurt you, your anger and your hate and resentment and bitterness decrease with every prayer. It's like unlocking the door of someone's prison cell, and you find that you're the one who opens the door and walks out. Forgiveness is a key to release you from the prison of resentment, bitterness, anger, and hate. You don't want to take resentment about your ex into your next relationship. You don't want to take your bad emotions regarding your previous job into your next job. So pray for healing. Number one, pray for yourself to be healed, and stop dwelling on it. Stop mentally rehearsing past arguments, past fights, past relationships. It's over with. Let it go. And then pray for the happiness of the one who hurt you. Not for his or her sake, for your sake. You will find you will have less resentment, less bitterness, less hate and anger, and more joy and more peace. Thanks for watching. God bless.